Hey everyone, I don't normally do this type of clickbait or fear content, but since I've been getting a lot of emails and private messages about this topic, I figured I'd make a quick video and talk to you directly and share with you my opinion about the current tensions and war potential between Russia and Ukraine. So if war does occur, worst case scenario, how will it impact the stock market? Should you be worried? What should you do as a passive income investor? Let's get in it right away. So, first off, let me just start by saying that what I'm about to tell you is purely my thoughts and my opinion, right? So, one thing you need to remember is that wars, big and small, have been around since the beginning of mankind. I'm not sure if I ever told you this, but I'm a bit of a history buff, so it's one of my passions besides investing. I actually read the entire almanac of the world's history by National Geographic. Really cool, concise history of all of humankind. So, wars are really nothing new, nothing to be surprised about. There are always conflicts going on in the world, and they're here to stay for the foreseeable future, right? This is normal, it's human nature. Of course, when you watch the media, however, they always make it seem like the latest one is always the worst one and the scariest one. But that's just the media. They love fear mongering to get more views. Hopefully, you already figured that out by now. So they exaggerate everything, right? And this is exactly why I rarely watch the news anymore. So the first point I want to make is that there will always be something potential Russian invasion of certain parts of Ukraine. NATO-Russian tensions have been around for a long time. What about the China and U.S. tensions? Remember that trade war back when Trump was president? There was the war in Syria, the North Korean and U.S. tensions, the fight against ISIS, the Iraq war, the conflict in Yemen, and the list goes on and on. Those are just the ones I could think of at the top of my head. There will always be conflict. Does that mean that the world economy stops? No. The second point I want to share is that we need to think about how this war can actually impact, or sorry, potential war can actually impact the companies that we are invested in. What impact will this potential conflict have on the blue chip companies that we own, like the big Canadian or US banks, for example, or the utilities and telecom companies that we own either directly or indirectly, or healthcare companies like Johnson and Johnson or Pfizer, or even real estate and real assets investments, or tech stocks like Apple, Microsoft, etc. So, do any of these companies have any significant operations in Ukraine or Russia? Will conflict in Ukraine impact these blue chip companies' balance sheets or revenues? We need to use our critical thinking and our discernment here, guys, and think things through before we give into the fear of the so-called media and the experts' predictions, right? So the truth is that even if there was a conflict, it wouldn't impact any of these companies in the slightest. It might actually make oil prices go up, which is good for oil stocks and Canada because the Canadian market has a lot of oil and energy companies. So there's another point. Third point, and I have talked about this before, is that stock prices are really the general public's perception of a stock, and it's based mostly on emotion and not logic, right? Think about it. If stock prices were perfect and solely based on the actual value of the company, the stock market would be a very boring place and without much opportunity, right? It's people's fear and emotions that drive stock prices up and down, not logic. So think, for example, of what happened to the stock price of Bell or TELUS, Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, or Fortis, or Emera, the utilities companies during the COVID-19 crash of 2020. So these companies, although very defensive, went down 15, 20% or more in a matter of just a couple of weeks. So think about that for a second, everyone. How the heck could Bell Canada or any one of these companies be worth 20% less in a matter of weeks? The answer is they weren't. It's people's fear and emotions that drove the stock price of these companies down. Not logic or reason, right? So COVID-19 actually had no impact whatsoever on most of these companies. In fact, the opposite it was true, right? Because healthcare stocks actually did better because of the vaccines. Telecom companies probably did better because everyone just stayed home and watched TV. Electricity companies always just do the same. So they weren't down. They went down because people sold their shares for no good reason. That's why stock prices go down, because there's more sellers than buyers. It's as simple as that. So don't forget that if ever you sell your shares, you're actually selling them to somebody else. So somebody else is capitalizing, or has capitalized, if we stick with the same example back in March 2020, on the seller's fear, and got a great deal, right? So is that something that you want to do now? Sell your shares so somebody could get them cheaper at your expense? Don't do it, please. It's pure folly if you ask me. Don't forget, stock prices are based, really, like I mentioned before, on the amount of buying and selling in the market. The more sellers, the lower stock prices go. Point number 4, and this is my final point. Let's say there is a war and the stock market goes down 10, 15, 20%, let's say for nothing, out of pure fear. Okay, worst case scenario. What exactly do you want to do anyways? Do you want to sell your shares? But then what? Have you actually thought this through? Is it really to sell now and then get back into the market at a later time? And remember that when you sell, somebody will buy back your assets at a discount. So why sell your assets? So if this is the case, let's say you do decide to do this, when do you actually sell? You have a lot of things to think about. When do you sell? After you sell, what do you do with the cash that you have? It's just going to sit there not making anything for you. When do you get back into the market? Another important question. You really think you're going to get back into the market at the perfect time? Every single month you wait, you miss out on the passive income. So this is a complete waste of time, waste of mental energy, if you ask me. As a passive income investor, don't forget, everyone, you make your money every month with the income your funds are providing you, regardless of what stock prices do. So why bother selling in the first place? I really don't understand this thought process. So I created this defensive style of investing exactly to withstand these types of situations. You make your money with time, not what stock prices are doing, not with stock prices. So please, if you're thinking of doing this, actually think it through and realize that the best thing to do is actually the easiest thing to do. Nothing. If you're in it for the very long term, if you're a long-term investor like me and never sell anything, the short-term fluctuations of the stock market means absolutely nothing for you. That only matters for short-term traders or swing traders. That's not what we are. So stay the course, because time in the market always beats timing the market. Hold firm, collect that sweet monthly income, and keep investing regularly over time to capture cheaper stock prices if ever there is volatility ahead. My strategy, which the covered calls is really the bread and butter, actually shines during these types of scenarios because it's a defensive equity strategy, right? Thanks to those covered calls. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your passive income. So in short, everyone, my opinion, the best thing to do if during this potential conflict in the world, which could cause market volatility, is nothing. That's right, absolutely nothing. Instead, let's look for opportunities to invest in things that are undervalued, lowering our book prices while we do that. This is called dollar cost averaging, right? If you invest more in the funds that you are down on, you bring your average stock price lower, right? Now narrowing or lowering your fantasy loss on paper and increasing your yield at the same time. So selling now just to get back in later is complete nonsense and a waste of time, if you ask me. So do yourself a favor, stick to the plan, hold and stand firm. Don't give in to all the fear mongering. Think things through logically and realize that there will always be something going on in the world. It's human nature. It's been that way since the dawn of time. Remember what we're invested in, right? Solid blue chip companies for the most part, and stock prices are not based on anything logical. They are based on human emotion, which unfortunately gives into fear many times. But don't let it happen to you. I know it can be scary for you newer investors out there, but trust me, doing nothing is the best thing, because no matter what happens, the market always recovers. That's what history has shown us, right? So focus on things you can control, everyone, not things you can't control. Be a stoic. Don't give in to the fear. Remember, the real fear is for really the people who are going to be caught in the crosshairs of this potential war. For us, the biggest problem is really just seeing our holdings in the red for a couple of weeks. So we are the lucky ones. So if you like this video, I hope this made you feel better. I have another 2 videos that I did, which I also suggest as well. The first one's called Why I Don't Care About Stock Prices. The second one is How to Get Over Stock Market Investing Fear. So I strongly do suggest those two videos. If this video was a little bit of a reassurance for you, I'll put the links to those videos in the video description below. So don't forget, everyone, my passive income strategy is a very defensive and hands-off strategy. That's the advantage, that's the privilege that you and I have as a passive income investor. So shut off the TV, close the computer, and enjoy your life. Go outside, focus on your passions and your hobbies, spend time with your loved ones, and leave your money alone. Don't worry, the passive income will continue to come in every month, whether it's cash or drip. We're all in it together. I won't be selling off anything personally. On the contrary, I'm excited because now there's going to be some great deals. And as usual, I will let you guys know what I think are the best deals via my monthly video series, top 3 stock picks of the month, right? Designed for income. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed, not to miss out on that monthly video where I tell you what I think is undervalued in the market. So thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. And how do I always leave you? Continue to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay passive. See you next time.